Forget us what everyone knows the way as the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, save facility, hate, disfigure me. The claim that I'm lazy be killing me, maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap, cracking the sky. Nuclear missiles are making it official, I'm capturing every crack, I'm surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cages, they on the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the bird show, we can all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a door. Payback is a door.
Look, ain't no remorse in my bloodstream. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the world. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next guy got back, gonna be 10-5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback, come back around like a carousel. Still remember your honest words. Ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you feel low. I fuck the cocktail. Triangle choker, plot press to the game like I did Bondale. Payback's a bitch in his dress. She a bombshell. Just get served cold. I just hope they make an oxtail. Block fresh out the box. I swear got that no con smell. Made myself a target in the world of mad shooters. Devils design foul for our faces. The fans doing the damn my king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They want my jealous, I want brand new pair of colors.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a door. Payback is a door. Payback
Yeah, those are messed up songs. Bad news is to beat the home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, man.
They said you get up, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they train that beat, I ride that bitch like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we on guard. You ain't know they coming over wide. I go with the fuck. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on the door, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't kill like that. I swear to our car. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'm starting another war. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they pray that beat, I ran that business like a horse. Yeah, about to go down there, bitch, we gon' start. Yeah, ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, fart. Get it lit up like a tart. Either lower or this lower. For that bitches either or. I told you niggas you ain't feel like that. I swear I'm too hard. And I just made it go. We gon' start a number one. Yeah. One more time, get on the sheet there. All right. Let's go ahead, clap it up. Let's say Shalom, Yahweh Shah, rock a thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemal, a thumb by Shem Shah to all the sisters. I'm Priest and Officer 5000, Kasar Pakai. This is the Thursday night scripture breakdown for IGBK Northern California, all over from the Bay Area all the way up to Sacramento, Stockton, anywhere in between. If you have any questions, feel free to go ahead and type them in the chat. Matter of fact, one more second. Let me grab my sword right here. Hold on. We'll start with the first precept. Let's go to Hosea chapter 7 and verse 11. And when we get that, I'll explain what tonight's topic is. Hosea chapter 7 and 11. Matter of fact, we'll start at verse 8. Hosea chapter 7 and verse 8. Let's get to it. So the title of tonight's class is Civil War. If people are not aware of what's going on around them, then you will not understand that your oppressor is getting in line and getting in ready to go into a civil war. Matter of fact, I'm going to pull up a video. Now, I'm not sure if we will get a strike for showing this video or whatnot. Let me see. I'm not exactly sure how that works. So lock it to the people that's over the YouTube department. We're going to go ahead and show this trailer if y'all haven't seen this movie about to come out. Let's see. All right. Let's go. Start it over. Give it full screen. Hold on. Here we go.
Of America. People to Florida Alliance. And the Western forces of Texas and California will be welcomed back to these United States as soon as their illegal secessionist government is deposed.
You don't know what side they're fighting for.
Someone's trying to kill us. We are trying to kill them.
Civil War. Okay, April 12th. Ooh wee. We know what's going on around April 12th. If you don't know, the Lord's 55th annual Passover will be going down in Durham, North Carolina. It's like we got somebody at the door coming to class. 1 second, y'all. Better that you come than not at all. Shit. Most high Christ to see y'all. All right. But yeah, we just showed the class and everybody on here. The title of tonight's class is Civil War. All right. There is a movie coming out April 12th called Civil War. Have you seen the trailer for it?
You just reminded me. I saw it like last year.
Right. Oh, for real? It's been the trailer's been out that long?
I feel like it came out last year. It was like on Twitter. During the summer, it was going crazy.
Right. Well, yeah, you said you saw the trailer for it?
Kind of.
Right. And so it's interesting, it's ironic that it's coming out April 12th. I was telling everybody, you know what's going on around that time. April 12th, we will all be. Go ahead.
The election?
Nah, not in April. That's in November. I'm talking about in the truth.
Oh, Slovakia.
Yeah.
Passover. So.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? Get out of hand. The Lord's 55th annual Passover will be in Durham, North Carolina. Everyone is going to be in the building, Lord allow. This is going to be a glorious event. And I'm saying it might be a real live Passover the way the direction of this country is going. It might be the Lord might really visit this place and start making it fall expeditiously, as T.I. might say. But so like I said, the title of tonight's class is Civil War, and it is on the rise. It is getting ready to happen. Someone even said, I forgot about the statistics on this, but if there's a certain amount of casualties between two sides, they're saying arguably, I think if it's like 100 deaths a year, that we are already in a civil war right now. That these two factions and these two sides, what they call, one of them is Antifa, and that's supposed to be the left, the ultra left, and then you got these right-wing
white supremacists going out and doing these mass shootings all of the time. They're leaving manifestos telling why they're doing a mass shooting, and they're doing it in a lone wolf. Have you heard about this lone wolf thing before? Can you explain it a little bit? What is the concept about people doing lone wolves?
That's like it, sir. The last one I remember was the one in New Zealand where the
Right.
man went out with like high firepower, like
Mhm.
15 guns, over 1,000 rounds of ammunition, and pretty much he wanted to go in and kill as many brown people
Mhm.
as he could to pretty much. In his manifesto, I think he wanted to start a race war, or
Right.
the first beginning of a race war.
Exactly. Because he believes his people, that's right. That's exactly it. Now, he believes his people are under attack through immigration, through people mixing, all of these things. Letting other people come into white countries is a threat to their existence. And so in order for his people to survive, he is trying to start a civil war, a race war first, right? He wants to push and start a race war against all of, like you said, brown people. Now, the one question though, I'm asking, why are they doing it in a lone wolf manner? Can you explain that part?
I'm not sure on why they do that.
Okay. You want to give it a shot, sis? Okay, no sweat, no sweat. So what a lone wolf means is it's wolves usually hunting packs, but every now and then there may be a wolf that goes on his own and just hunts by himself. He's moving, solo. If you were to start a war today in America and you were to use a paramilitary, you were to organize troops that are counter the United States government, it would be very easy to destroy that group or organization. It wouldn't take too much money or resources to do that. And a perfect example is the Black Panther Party. They infiltrate it. They're gonna set it up. They can lie, whatever they can do. You can wake up in the morning, it's a dead body in your trunk. If they need to do that, the government will do that to stop your organization from going. If they need to put drugs on here, if they need to assassinate somebody, they can do all of these things. And so even if it was a white supremacist group that wanted to go against the United States government or the Australian government, New Zealand, whatever they're at, fighting this white supremacist war, it'll be very easy to stop them if they were moving like a neo-Nazi army military. So they have created this agenda of recruiting lone wolves. And so now this white boy in Wisconsin can watch a video online, become radicalized, as they say, hates blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, wants to fight for his country. He's watching all this information. They have these little blog sites. One of them is called like 4chan. They type in all this information and communicate with each other about how they're promoting white supremacy, but they never meet up together. They never organize. They never become a military. They just want you to read this stuff that we're watching and say, you know what? I'm going to go out and do this by myself and kill as many niggas, spics, whatever as possible by myself as a lone wolf. So now you can't pinpoint and see where this is going to happen. So that's why they're leaving these manifestos. Dylan Wolf, when he went into the church, all these things, they're leaving these messages saying, this is why I'm doing this. This is to inspire someone else to do this and pick up the battle and the fight. But you don't have to do it as a group. You can do it just by yourself by learning and reading the stuff that I'm reading, watching the stuff that I'm watching. So that's how they're moving to get this thing started. But eventually you're going to see them come together and see actually how many they are because they have different levels. Another thing is called a ghost skin. You heard of that term? It's a ghost white supremacist. They're undercover white supremacists. So a lot of them, the FBI even came out and said that there was an agenda amongst white supremacists since the 80s or 70s. They've been going underground, and now they want to become police officers. There's a big problem. Let me see if I can find that statistic on there. But give me Hosea 7 and 11 while I find this. FBI says police infiltrated.
So like, was it 7 and 11?
Yeah, kind of. Matter of fact, I think I said start at verse 8. Boom. Let me see. Intercept. Let's see what PBS.org says. 1 second before you go. Let's see. So, okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of this article right here. It says, let me see if I can. Oh, I won't share it on the screen. I'm just gonna read it for everybody. So this came out in October 2016. FBI warned of, and this is PBS.org. FBI warned of white supremacists in law enforcement 10 years ago. So this was back in 2006, 10 years ago from 2016. Has anything changed? That's the title of the article. Increased attention toward the killing of Black men and women by police throughout the past year has ignited national conversations on racism and law enforcement. Freddie Gray in April 2015 to Deborah Danner, an emotionally disturbed woman fatally shot this week by an NYPD officer. Protests around the country have forced many Americans to reassess how police engage with communities of color. In light of perhaps despite the increased scrutiny, FBI Director James Comey told police officers at a national conference last Sunday that because of insufficient data on use of force, Americans actually have no idea whether racial bias in policing is really an epidemic, pointing to current public outrage over police killings of African Americans. Comey said the absence of good information and data has aided in the growing belief that police officers target particular communities. That is the narrative he told attendees of the International Chiefs of Police. It's a narrative driven by video images of real misconduct, possible misconduct, and perceived misconduct. But even if there aren't hard statistics, the problem of racial bias among police isn't new. In fact, it's been a concern of the FBI for at least a decade. Exactly 10 years ago this week, the FBI warned of the potential consequences, including bias of white supremacist groups infiltrating local and state law enforcement, indicating it was a significant threat to national security. And so, long story short, they're saying one director is like, well, there's no proof that there's racism going on. This could be a real situation. This could be a bad situation. This could just be you think it's wrong, but it's really not wrong. And then they're saying, well, even your agency reported 10 years ago there was a problem of white supremacists infiltrating the police departments. They have people in the KKK that are watching to see what their plans are. They put people inside this neo-Nazi group to see what their plans are. And the word on the street was, I'm going to become a sheriff. I'm going to become a deputy. I'm going to become a judge. I'm going to become a lawyer. I'm going to be a ghost skin. I'm not going to wear no tattoos with swastikas on it. I'm not going to wear certain clothes. I'm not going to become a skinhead. It's going to be a regular white man walks through. Hey, how you doing today? You know what? I'm going to have a couple black friends. I'm going to, understand what I'm saying? I'm going to go to the bar and buy Jamal a drink. They're undercover white supremacists, just like somebody that goes undercover to become a drug dealer. What does an undercover drug dealer do?
Tries to arrest the drug dealers.
Right. But no, he becomes a drug dealer. What does that look like?
He does worse crimes than the actual drug dealer.
Okay. And he dresses like a drug dealer. He walks he tries to become cool. He makes himself seem like a criminal. He makes himself seem cool with the criminals who are who? His
black, Latino.
No. Go ahead. No. He's a cop. He becomes a drug dealer because he wants to.
He wants to destroy the other drug dealers.
Exactly. Because drug dealers are his
enemy.
Exactly. So now think what we're talking about. White supremacists are going undercover. So what do you think they're gonna act like?
They're gonna
Become friends with who?
With blacks, Hispanics,
Exactly.
Native Americans. Make it seem like as if they're not.
Exactly. They're gonna become friends. They're gonna say Black Lives Matter. They're gonna, you see what I'm saying? Try to help Black people, Hispanic people. They're gonna put an imagery of being friendly, being the police, being nice guys, firemen, lawyers, etc. All these things undercover. You thinking this is your best friend, when in reality he's planning on killing you. And that's happened a few times. I'm not sure if you heard of these stories, but there, a Black woman, she got 5 white friends, and she's the only one that ends up dead in the house, and nobody knows what happened. You know what I'm saying? That it didn't just happen once. That happened multiple times in the past few years. Brothers over here going hunting with a whole bunch of Edomites and end up getting shot. This has happened all that. Those are just those examples, but these people are moving into law enforcement, long story short, and they're committing their agenda. Why would you become a Klansman and ride with a hood on a horse and go lynch somebody when you can just become an officer, make $100,000 a year with a pension, and then you can kill a nigga running down the street and not go to jail? And and on top of that, I get to lock people up. I get to set them up. You understand? I can do a lot of things. I can molest women when I want to, pull them over and feel, you know what I mean? I can destroy that community a whole lot more by becoming a police officer than just becoming a blatant KKK member. But go ahead,
I was going to ask, would that be similar to how we see the racist liberal, where those in government say they're doing things that seem to help poor communities, but it's actually detrimental to us in the long run. Exactly.
They give that a hand too, man. That's a heavy point out what you're saying. That's exactly, even Malcolm X said something about that. He said the liberals and the Republicans, or whatever he said, Democrats and Republicans, the liberals and the conservatives are like a wolf. And they are, you know what I mean? They come attack you, they hunt you, they stalk you down. He said the Democrats or the liberals are like a fox. They're sneaky and tricky. The fox becomes friends with the rabbit, but he still wants to kill the rabbit. And so that's kind of what we see. They tell you they're for Black people, and then they promote abortions in our community. They tell you they're for Black people, but they promote the LGBT agenda in our community. And we have to accept all these things. What are some other crazy stuff that liberals, you know what I mean? They tell us we should integrate and love each other and become one. And all of those things are really dangerous for us, but it sounds good. You know what I mean? So go ahead.
I was going to add the criteria for Social Security. Like you have to be destroyed already.
Oh, right. With what you talking about, like to get benefits for your family. The man can't be out of the house, or if he is out of the house, they got to put him on child support. That's a law they have, I think, in California, if not all over. So it's different ways they make it seem so, like they care. And then on top of that, they literally do nothing else for us. You know what I mean? That's why they say no matter what president, the ghetto is the ghetto regardless. But getting back, I digress. Let's go to this precept real quick. I'm gonna tie everything together. I'm gonna try to get a little bit quicker on my breakdowns. Go ahead. I say that every week.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
Right.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
Right. So Ephraim is the head tribe of the quote unquote northern kingdom at this time, when there was division between the southern tribes, Judites, Levites, and Benjamites versus the northern kingdom, which would be the so-called Latino and Native American tribes. Ephraim was the head tribe over that group, and it says is mixed himself amongst the people. So at this time, they were, I guess, the first to really try to go and be amongst the other nations and mix in with them and be a part of them, get these wives from these heathens as a group. It's always been everyone in Israel has been messing up and trying to get different heathen women's, but as a group, they were really trying to mix with these other nations, right? Keep going, verse 9. Go ahead.
Would that just mean like the government was okaying, was the one spearheading that? Would that imply that, or is just the people?
More. Well, you saying like the leadership of Ephraim? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Now, was it like just a government instituted thing? Nah, like, oh, you have to go get heathens. It's just more like it became the culture, or they were starting to get away from the laws of God, and that just comes with that. It's just like with anything. The same way today, if you teach it's okay to have LGBT people in your community, then you can't be surprised when your cousin comes out as this person, or your auntie, or this is what is accepted, and everything that comes with that is what you're gonna see. Okay. And so if you accept worshiping a heathen's God, you're gonna start to love those heathen people and have relationships with them. So that's kind of what happened. Keep going. Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not.
Man, that's the heavy part right there. One more time.
Strangers have devoured his strength.
Like your strength is your separation from these other nations. That's your strength. Us having our own culture, we thinking that, oh, it's just Christmas. Oh, it's just Thanksgiving. Oh, it's just Valentine's Day. Oh, it's just a birthday celebration. Oh, it's just Easter. You think you're just being a part of something that is just fun as part of the American culture. What harm is it? If you're selfish, then you will think there's no harm in it. But if you care about your people, you will see that this little thing is really not little. It's a very big thing. Why am I saying that? Because when you partake in Christmas, that's the biggest time this country makes money every year. Every business bounced back off of Christmas. You could have had no sales all year, and then all of a sudden, everything is sold out. You're literally propping up the American economy. You take away no Christmas from America, and half of the businesses across the country would fail overnight. Literally. That's how much money is pumped into the economy. People literally go broke. You're not going to spend all of your money this time of year unless it's for Christmas. So long story short, imagine how much money goes out of the Black community, out of the Latino community, into other businesses just with Christmas alone. We're talking about billions and billions of dollars, trillions and trillions of dollars. So if it's leaving us, who is winning in the situation? It should be very simple. Who's winning in that situation? Right. Who else? Asians, East Indians, Arabs, all of the other nations. Whoever is selling you this clothes you're buying, this toys you're buying, whatever it is that you're doing, all the flights going, the airlines winning, everything is going booming around. The card companies, they literally wait. There was a factory. I'm sidebarring a little bit. Slow me down, Doc. I'm gonna start giving you the authority. I feel like Command General, kind of like y'all stop me when I get going like this. But there was a factory in the Midwest where they were making cards and candles for Christmas, and they would not let them go home. It was Puerto Ricans in there working, and it burned down a tornado came and killed hundreds of people in this factory. And they would not let them go home because they're trying to make this money for Christmas. So like all of that money is going into them. They're getting richer. They're going to send their kids to college with that money you gave them. They're going to send their kids to law school with that money you gave them. They're going to put that taxes on the police force. And what does he do when he goes to school, go to Harvard? He's like, I'm going to mastermind a way how to maximize my profit for my people, for my nation, and I'm going to figure a way how to destroy these people. So they take all of that money and then reinvest it in oppressing you. And so read the verse again.
Verse 9. Strangers have devoured his
They
strength,
took everything from you, right?
and he knoweth it not.
Like you think you getting along, you with everybody. I'm doing what they do. Ain't no harm in it, but you're on the losing end of this relationship. It's not, as they say, the word symbiotic. Symbiotic relationship means I do this for you and you do this for me, and we help each other. That's not the relationship we have with them. We work and they win. We work and they get richer. They always say that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's actually a book that's called The Rich Get Richer and the Poor Get Prison. Like you even more jammed up. You trying to catch up. You want to do illegal things to catch up to them to get richer. You just end up poor and in jail. But go ahead, you had something?
Oh, so I was just gonna that brings back to your point. Cases where brothers and sisters go out with heathens to certain places and they end up dying.
Right. Yeah, and that's spiritual because that's just the physical realm of it. But the spiritual realm of it, we all doing these things, you know what I mean? I got a family member so tied to, holidays, man. I'm trying to tell her, like, we can get together as a family anytime. We can do this at any other time. We have our own holidays in the Bible, but they think it's just so innocent and harmless. I'm like, man, our nation is, damn, what was I watching? Somebody said, I'm like, damn, they said it exactly on the head. Matter of fact, is this dude, he's making these, he basically says what we saying the truth. He's probably a half a HMOM. Well, he's a brother, but he's talks real funny. I posted it in the group chat one time. But he says what we say. He's starting to come out and saying, very educated. He's writing books. He's very intellectual. He's basically saying that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. He didn't say the Bible, obviously, but he's saying these people are psychopaths as a nation. And he was saying all the stuff we learned in slavery, we start to imitate them. And he's saying that their culture, we following their culture makes us act like them. I'm saying it in a bad way. I wish I could, show to be clear to make him say it in the best way how he's saying it. But long story short, even these educated authors and doctors and scientists from the Black community are starting to come out and say, yeah, us following their culture, it doesn't help us. We end up becoming like them the more we act like them. And so a little stuff like that. But that's why he says the strength, we don't even know it. Keep going.
Yea, gray hairs are here. Gray hairs are here and there upon him, yet he knoweth not.
Now, he getting older and weaker. He don't know it. Keep going. Verse 10.
Verse 10. And the pride of Israel testifieth to his face, and they do not return to the Lord their God, nor seek him for all this.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 11. Ephraim also is like a silly dove without heart. They call to Egypt, they go to Assyria.
Right, this is the part I wanted to get to, a silly dove. This is how we all have become. It ain't just Ephraim, it's the whole nation of Israel. We're like a silly dove, a lovebird. We in love with all these other nations. We attach ourselves to all these other nations, and we have nothing for ourselves. And that's, like, I really just think, like, man, I'm really talking to my family. I don't know, man. I don't want to say too much. Like, they might be watching this class, but you know what's going on. But I'm just like, hey, these people raped our grandmother. These people literally kidnapped our grandparents. And you're mad at us because we don't want to do what they do? You see what I'm saying? Like, you're going to leave us because we're telling you to leave them? Who is really crazy in this scenario? You really have to check and see. Like, you become that brainwashed. Like, and that becomes, like I said, if you become selfish, then you think it's about you, or you think it's about this person, but you don't care about your nation. These oppressors, they care about their nation. That's why they go in New Zealand and are out there shooting people in mosque or wherever they like. They really care about their people. They like, Like, see the difference of that? Like, their mind is, you come try to stop me from doing what I do, I'm not with y'all. We're not East Indian. We're not Mexican. We're not niggas. We're not Africans. We're not Asians. And they got a racist term for every last one of them. And I'll probably get this whole thing start living. But in their mind, they're like, you are our enemy. You're coming over here. I don't want to be a part of you. And we got to go to war about this. But our mind is, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me look like you. Let me dress like you. Like, that's complete opposite. And they get mad at their people. They check their people for that. They're like, you can listen to that little rap song, but don't become a nigga. Don't do what they do. Like, you can watch a little TV show, but once you start trying to go to the barrio or you trying to, nah, that's not us. That's not for us. Don't do nothing like them. Don't be a part of them. We keep trying to be, we're begging them. That's a silly dove to love us when they would never do that to us. It couldn't even cross their mind that I'm going to give up being white to go and become y'all. I'll kill y'all for trying to even come over here and be with me. You better just do what I say, but don't really try to be with me. I can't do that. But let's drop that one. You got something to say, Al?
No sweat, sir. Live.
Okay. No sweat. But that's what we get. We get taught to be selfish in America. It's not our fault. But it just does kind of, after, being in the truth for so long, it becomes hard to almost understand how people in the world think. And I have to, a part of me has to not forget, because then I will become over righteous, because I did these things too. I celebrated these things. I was a part of these things. I get it. But now after a while, you're like, okay, once you present the evidence to someone, you're thinking that it's going to register, but sometimes it doesn't register as fast as you want it to. And that's where we have to just calm ourselves down as brothers in the truth and just realize that the Lord had mercy and patience with us. And we got to extend that to our people. So I'm like dealing with my cousin. I'm like trying to tell her, I'm like, damn, we can do something else. We can celebrate something else. Like we have something to do. Why does it have to be the same thing that the people that destroyed us do? You don't see that there's a connection there. Right. Now let's go to Matthew 25 and 12. Baba Kasha. The thing is once again, America is going through a big time right now. It's a very crucial point. And like they said, there's a lot of arguments that they're already in a civil war. It just hasn't been officially declared. But if you're really paying attention to it, they are killing each other too. And that's what I'm saying. Some of these Antifa people are going out here and killing white supremacists. Some people from the LGBT community are going out and doing things. Then you got people from them going and attacking other Edomites and attacking other quote unquote Americans. But really it's like racist. So it's intertwined. You see what I mean? Like if you are on the left side, you're trying to make all of America unite and be under this banner. They going out killing this black person just because they black. They really just, to them, they killed another American. So it's wrong. So it's still, they're going to have to fight over this. Like they're telling them, stop killing these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're like, come on, brother. How are you going to investigate me and come arrest me? We're doing it for you, brother. I'm fighting for you, man. They think like, you know what I mean? That's how they looking at it. And it's really similar to us. Like, that's why they really are on the other side of the coin in a lot of ways. They do try to put us in that box. We're just not violent. You know what I'm saying? But in essence, the way that white supremacists love white people is the way that we in the truth love our people. It's like they fighting us and we like, we out here doing this because we really love black people. You just don't get it. You understand? So let's go ahead though. Matthew 25 and 12.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verse 12.
But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Verse 13.
Okay, I think I got the wrong one. Go to 12. Let me see. This one, 12. Yeah, it's 12 and 25. I had it backwards. Uh-huh.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25. And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
It's brought to where?
To desolation.
Right. Now we're seeing that right now. Texas has recently been talking about seceding from America, starting its own country. That's what you're seeing in that movie. They put California and Texas. Of course, they make it a movie and it's not, realistic. California and Texas probably would never come together. It's going to be Texas and Mississippi or something that would really side with each other. Go ahead up.
So I was going to say, Texas was one that called out the Texas National Guard,
right,
to secure the border,
right,
because the federal agents they weren't working in the way that they wanted, and so they had the face off between the National Guard and the federal agents there.
You see how dangerous that is? You see how crazy that is to sound? Imagine you being a real diehard red-blooded American and seeing that happening in your country. It doesn't make sense. Okay, let's put it on a smaller scale. Let's put that in the truth. You see how crazy this sounds? Now, let's say you go to Florida and the UPK camp in Florida is out there on Shamar, and a general says, hey, y'all need to go and do this over there. And the captain in Florida is like, nah, we don't do that, General Your Honor. What the hell is going on? That's not one body. That's not one West. That's out of order. That's a war, right? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. People don't even know. They're not making a big news because they don't want to scare people, and then they don't want to radicalize people. Because if they put this on CNN that there's a civil war going on, then it's going to be a signal to more of the people on that side to get together and fight back. Yeah, you're right. If Texas would do that against the federal government, then what can Florida do? What can Georgia do? We can. The South will rise again. They say that all the time. The Confederacy, they are trying to start a civil war. And the key part about it is, I'm not gonna give nothing out, but if somebody can get the answer to this question, what is the cause of this civil war in America? You want to try? Let's try. It's a small class. I only got 2 people to go back and forth. If you know about, are you familiar with the first Civil War? That might have been too much of it. Hey, are you familiar with the first Civil War? Okay, no, that's all good. My rib is the same way, no sweat. I get a brother a shot. Well, now I might have gave it too much of a hint, but maybe it might went over your head. Go ahead.
Would the cause of it be the replacement theory of how they believe that they're going to be replaced?
That's a part of it, but the hint was the first Civil War. That you should just get it with that.
So they want us to be slaves?
Who?
Those in the South that are working, they don't like the life that they have, so they want to go back to an easier time for themselves.
Who do they want to be slaves?
Also, they want Blacks, Hispanics, and Native people to be slaves.
Exactly. This Civil War is over us. The first Civil War was over us. The Civil War that they had was over ending slavery. The North in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, they said it was time to free the slaves. And the ones in the South is where all the slaves were working on the plantations. They're like, we're not freeing them. We're not giving up the slaves. This is our bread and butter. This is where we make our money at. Before slavery ended, 10 years or 20 years, 10 years before slavery ended, Mississippi had the most millionaires per capita than any place else in America. Like, if you wanted to throw a dart and find a millionaire, it was in Mississippi. I ain't talking about adjusted income. I'm talking about when you could go buy a loaf of bread for 2 pennies, you could buy a whole house or acre of land for $300 or so. I don't even know how much it was back in the 1800s. Let me just look that up. How much was a house or acre of land in 1800? How much was acre of land in 1850? So this is 10 years before slavery ended. Let me see, not now. Let me see what it was. It's like something you can't. Oh man, I was way off. You could buy an acre of land in 1800s for $2. 1860. Yeah, they were giving out land for dollars. Yeah, I remember that. I was like watching in Rosewood or one of the movies. The brother was buying a whole bunch of 100 acres of land for like $150. And long story short, they really had $1 million back then. I don't think you can really quite understand that. Like, they had what I don't have today. Like, if you woke up tomorrow and you had $1 million in your bank account, you'd be happy, right? Am I right or am I wrong? Imagine having that when, you know, people used to move to the Bay Area. My grandmother bought a house in EPA in 1955 for like $10,000, a real house. $15,000. You got to make a payment for 30 years to pay off $15,000. That was a lot of money to them back then because people were making $10 a day or something. You know what I mean? Food, gas, everything was cheap. You could buy a hot dog for a nickel. You could buy hamburgers for 15 cents. They had $1 million cash in their bank account. They was like billionaires. And it was a lot of them because they had slave money. That's how much money they were making. And then the North is coming up saying, we're going to kill that business. They like, I'll kill any white man, black man, anybody to try to stop this business from going. There's like the dope game. What you mean I can't sell dope? You tripping, nigga, what? They went to war over slavery because that's how much money they were making. You're not going to end this. We will die for this. And that's what they did. And so many people died. Google on your phone. I'm going to start Googling. It might be a little bit quicker than me for typing. Google how many people died in the Civil War. This is the most amount of people died, I believe, in American land or something crazy, man. It was a lot of people. But go ahead.
Specific figure of 618,000 is often cited.
Right.
360,000 Northern deaths and
right.
258,000 Confederate deaths.
Right. Basically, over 500,000 people, not including injuries. They killed each other, Edomites, destroying each other back and forth, just knocking each other off. And it wasn't like with modern day guns. They was using muskets and one shots. Like, you really dying. Like, shoot me with an AK. I'll be dead in a couple minutes or hours. These folks were sitting there bleeding to death for 2 days. Like, they was having painful, horrible deaths, getting their arms cut off, getting gangrene, and just dying nasty deaths with not modern day technology. And that's, get a Lord a hand. You understand? Like, you enslave us for 400 years, kill all these Native Americans, kill all these, you know what I'm saying, Latino brothers, black brothers. And at the end of that, y'all end up killing each other. Way more than we could do it. Y'all end up knocking each other. That's what's about to happen right now. We don't got to do nothing. We just got to be righteous. They're going to knock each other off of the map. And that's how the Lord works. So that was justice. They couldn't just get away with doing that. We had a little bit of justice in that itself. But long story short, short story long, the reason why we're here right now is because they're fighting over us again. Some of them want Latinos to come to America, and some of them don't. Why is Joe Biden and everyone letting immigrants come here? Go ahead.
Oh, so like, sir, I just wanted to
go ahead.
Make the point that that time, black people were only 5% of the population or so.
Mhm.
Yet made up over 10% of the Union Army. So black people were even called into their army at twice the rate that white people were.
Damn. Exactly. And that's another reason why the North won. Because they were pulling us into their army and using us. And our soldiers are so good. And they was happy to get a gun in their hand. They can go kill Edomites. They wasn't even mad. They was like, sign me up. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. And a lot of people in the North didn't want to put guns in their brothers' hands because they might kill us. So, that was some of those things with movies like Glory. I never really watched Glory. Yeah, Denzel Washington. I got to go back and watch it. I never really watched that movie, honestly. But I heard about it. That was showing black men joining to fight in that Civil War. But go ahead up.
Salakia, sir. It's crazy that you mentioned that movie because when I was a kid, I watched that movie and for like a young black man, young black kid, it literally instilled that oh, I'm American.
Damn, for real?
Come. It was just okay, yeah, we're all American.
That was the spirit of that's crazy. See, and that's how they do it. They make it seem like it's for us, but it really was to get a lot of people destroyed because they want you to end up joining the military or loving America when it really wasn't about caring about black people. It was just making sure that people in the North could make more money too. And that's the same thing that's going on right now, is that the people in the South, I could go into all this. Let's one more time. Matthew 12 and 25. I could go into all that stuff a lot longer. We're going to keep moving with these precepts though.
From the top, sir?
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Right.
And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
Right. And so that's what's happening. They are fighting over us again because one side saying they want to just have all out open slavery, and another side is saying we need to make it discreet. It's too much technology to do it the old way. Meaning, when the civil rights movement happened and they were putting dogs on people and watering them with hoses, they had cameras and they saw it on TV. Before, they didn't have cameras in the 1800s, so people in China and people in Europe didn't know what was going on in Mississippi. But now you open up your newspaper and you see a dog biting a black person, they like, that's pretty wrong. I thought America was the land of the free. It's not good for their PR. They call it public relations. It's like me being a marriage guru or like that dude, Jackson. Y'all heard about him? What's his name?
Oh, I do know who
You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what his first name is. Not
Darius Jackson?
Something like that. You know that, brother? Good for you. Get us his hand for not knowing who this nigga is. Because he is just like a devil. He's an evil brother. He goes and makes TikToks and stuff and YouTube to cater to women. He tells them to break up with their men all of the time. He talks funny. He talks with a lisp. He's like, yeah, if this man don't, if he just doesn't want to be there for you, then you don't need to be with him. You need to get rid of him, girl. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give you none of that attention that you need and all these type of things. He talk real. He probably a homosexual, but you know what I'm saying? He talk all this stuff. He be telling them all these weird things. Like and the whole time, long story short, this brother got a wife and he got 100 different girls he's sleeping with. Literally. He got caught. He like, yeah. And the whole time he was with him, he telling every woman on YouTube, leave your man because he's cheating on you. Leave your man because he don't want to take the trash out. Leave your man because he didn't do this on your birthday. Leave your man. His whole platform was giving women bad advice of how to deal with men. And the entire time he was doing the exact same thing he was telling them to leave their men for. And that messed up his image when it started coming out. Like, why would you listen to him anymore? Some people do still. They're stupid. But a lot of people stopped following him because he was proven to be You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with America. You can't say you're the land of the free when you got slaves. But if you didn't have the information of what's going on, then you just think, okay, that's the land of the free. Then you can't see on camera this dog, this white man doing this to this person and think that America is free. So now we in the internet age. They can't just kill black people on the street, shoot them in the back, and now you can see George Floyd getting killed on the internet. The white people that are thinking, they're like, what the hell is wrong with you? You see what I'm saying? Like, you are out here killing black people like it's the 1800s on YouTube. Come on, Paul, get it together. We're not going to be successful oppressing people like this 1800s doing that stuff now. So we're going to say, you know what? Black Lives Matter. He's wrong. Lock him up. Like, down with this and down with that. They have to fight back against open white supremacy because it's bad for business. You can't run Facebook and Google and Netflix if everyone thinks there's a race problem in America. It's not good for them to be the number one leaders of the world if there's open racism. But the other side is like, we're being so nice to these niggas and we're inviting in these Hispanics and all this. We're losing our power. We got to put them back in their place. So we got to put our knee on their neck and let the whole world see, to set an example. We got to go shoot them in the back. We got to go into their churches and shoot them down. Y'all remember the one that happened in the Walmart in Texas? They killed the Latinos in like El Paso. That happened out here in Gilroy. That was not too long ago. That's close to home. I remember that. I think we was in Hebrew Academy when that happened. Let me see. White supremacists. Long story short, man, I know. Go ahead, Art.
If I may, like, just from my experience, like, that was. I've never watched any of those videos of the shooters.
Right.
Unfortunately, the one they're talking about with the grocery store, that was the only one I'd ever seen because it was on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And it was within, like, I believe the first 10 seconds of him starting the video.
Mm-hmm.
He shot like the black lady at her car.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like, it was crazy. And it was just like
right.
It's a friendly old black lady.
Right.
And yeah, it was white man is the devil.
Damn right. So let's see this. Can y'all hear this? A little bit. All right. So he listed this. I'm gonna explain for it because it's kind of low. He basically had on his Twitter or whatever his social media account some manifesto called "Might is Right," and I'm gonna read what it says in the little article right here. It says the gunman killed 3 people and wounded a dozen more, so he shot 12 more people at the Gilroy Garlic Festival in Northern California. Was a 19-year-old who had recently waded into the world of white supremacy. He became a lone wolf. Santino William Legan. Blah 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 blah. He read "Might is Right" and posted on Instagram. He then used a slur against mixed race people and misogynistic descriptions of white Silicon Valley workers. Blah 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 blah. But he went out there and killed a 13-year-old, a 6-year-old Latino, and another adult, I believe, or something like that. But it was because they were Latino. It was no other reason. And it's what happened in Texas when they went into the Walmart and shot up everybody in El Paso. That one was really, it was ridiculous. this article. Mass shootings have Latinos worried about being targets. And this was in 2019. But yeah, white supremacists kills Latino, I think El Paso. No, I think this one happened when I was in Hebrew Academy. It wasn't the Gilroy one. That was in 2019. Shooter who targeted Latino in Texas gets 90 life sentences. That's even crazy in itself. The self-described, god damn, people just forget about this. The self-described white nationalist who killed 23 people at a Texas Walmart in 2019 attack targeting Latinos was given 90 consecutive life sentences. 23 people are, and you get life? That should be a death sentence. How the hell? And in Texas? Niggas got killed for way less in Texas. How the hell is he not gonna get the death penalty? That doesn't make any. Let a black man kill 23 white people in Texas. Let a black man kill 5 white people in Texas. Let a black man shoot 5 white people when they all live. He's still gonna get the death penalty. Let a Latino do that. Same thing. Kill 23 white women, men, and children. And you think he's gonna get life in jail? Even that is showing you the white supremacist is on the damn judge. Like, yep. Salute, brother. I would have did it myself, but I got golf in the morning. Thank you for your service. He still gave him a shout out. The judge still gave him love by letting him live. You know what I'm saying? But that type of thing, we even forget about. I forgot it was 23 people. And like I said, it's getting closer to home. They're doing it in Gilroy. You think it's not going to happen again. But they're literally telling y'all it's going to keep happening. We're trying to inspire more people to do it. This is why you think they went to that store in Buffalo to kill those black people. It was old black people. They tell you when you read the manifesto, they're killing old people on purpose. Do you know why?
Because they're vulnerable.
Right. Well, what else? Let me see. It's hard for us to think. This is how General Muhammad be saying, like, we're such good people. It's hard for us to even think like a devil to understand how they think. Go ahead.
It's like it would be to leave others parentless.
No, let's sister give it a shot.
They have money?
No. They want to start a civil war. I'll give y'all one more shot. They want a civil war, and so they're going to go kill old people for this purpose to get this to happen. They're not going to go to the gangbangers neighborhood and do it.
Is it because they can't use them as slaves?
That's like it would be to radicalize us, the ones that are left behind.
Damn, he got it. I have to watch out for this brother. That brother, it's hard to think like a devil. So if I want to get you to fight me back and you don't fight back, like, you know, they got all the videos and we go to what's that called? Nonviolent movements or whatever. And you see the movement and they just come up and they slap you in the face and you like, I ain't gonna hit you back because Jesus told me to turn the other cheek. And then they come and they slap you again. They like, hit me, nigger. You know, they want to fight. They want you to hit them. And you like, no, I ain't gonna do nothing. And they slap you again. No, I love you. And they gonna punch you in the stomach. No, you still can't make me hate you. I'm still gonna love you, master. And like, you know what? Give me this little nigga baby and they can kick it. Do something now, nigga. Hey, all right, you ain't do nothing. You still didn't do. All right, here, grandma. I'm gonna slap her. You gonna hit me now? Hit me. Hit me. Let's go. Let's go. And they like, y'all still ain't gonna do nothing? Y'all some pussy, Salaki. Y'all some bitch ass niggas. We will kill your grandma, and y'all are not going to do nothing yet. What is it going to take? That's why I said it's going to be kids next. I hate to be a prophet, you know what I'm saying, to say it, and it's sad. I've been saying it for years. They're going to start killing preschool age children. They're going to start killing elementary children that are Black and Hispanic because they want us to get mad at them enough to where we fight back against them so that they can start a race war. Because if Black people walk down the street and start killing Edomites for nothing, then more Edomites are going to say, you know what? I wasn't really with the Nazis, but to survive, I'm going to be with them. Because that's how it works. If you know how the penitentiary works, it's always racial in the penitentiary. And there was one I was watching in the Midwest, and the white boy, he was like, I make good knives. He was the knife man. Everybody from the white supremacist side comes to him to get knives. And they asked him, do you ever sell them to Black people? He was like, nah, I don't sell knives to Black people. He was like, why? You would make a lot of money. He was like, yeah, but if a riot pops off, I might end up getting killed with the knife that I gave to the enemies. So why would I ever give them a knife? You know what I'm saying? So he actually probably could be cool with Black people on the streets. He doesn't care about it. He was just a nerdy white boy. But he's like, I'm smart enough to know not to help them, because if it pops off, they're not going to say, oh, he's a white boy that's cool with me. Separum is going to be that race against my race, and I'm going to have to side with my race to survive. It's pretty much simple. So you was born into this. Ain't no way out of it. This is why we're trying to wake our people up. They keep trying to make it something else. Like, no, you can just love white people. You can integrate with them. You can be a part of them. You can celebrate with them. We're like, you was born on a team. You have no way out of this. When they start coming down the street and being like, there's a nigga, there's a spick, there's a savage, there's another one, that's how they're going to move. And you're going to have to go with your people and say, in order for me to survive, I got to fight this side of the war. And when we start, not saying us in the UPK, but when other gang members and these people in the streets start going to fight back against them, they're going to be like, damn, I was on the sidelines. I really like Black people. I really like Hispanics. But in order for me to survive, I'm going to go with my people. And they're going to pick their people. But go ahead.
Covered it.
Okay. So they're going to start shooting the children. And I hate to even, when this starts happening, just, you know what I'm saying? Is really sad, but knowing who they are, they've been here before. This is nothing new. We just didn't have cameras before when they were doing it before. That's why we keep saying that. Like, you don't really know who this person is. If you don't look at the history, you will take Todd that you see at the store like, hey, it's a good person. He just said hi to me. He held the door open for me. He paid my bill. You know what I'm saying? And my boss, he's all great people. But when you get into war, you'll see the savagery of these people and the animal come out of these people and how they are ruthless towards children, women, elderly, and they've shown us time and time again. So we cannot forget this stuff. Go ahead,
Like I said, when you mentioned that, I believe like the first one already happened with Uvalde, where I'm pretty positive it was all like Latino kids that got killed. And the media tried to spin it to say, like the whole thing, they spun it as, oh, the cops didn't do their job. And that's where the outrage went.
Right.
But originally it was just like, no, this person went and killed, he went into a specifically Latino school.
Right.
To kill Latino families.
Right.
Yeah. Like kids, like babies.
Facts. And I don't know, they might have said, that's the only thing, I don't know if they try to say he was Latino or not. But that's a question mark on that. They say he was a transgender. So that was another thing that's kind of interesting about that situation. But yeah, it's going to happen more. And I'm just waiting for one to come out with a manifesto and say, this is why I killed these kids. Because I want y'all to fight back. But we have been so destroyed, I don't even think that would make us angry enough. And that's kind of scary. But it still is what needs to happen, because the Lord is the one that's going to save us out of the situation. Going to war with them like that is not going to solve it anyway. but it is kind of like sad that we've been destroyed this much that our people can't even just think. I don't know, but let me look for what I need. Hell shall meet thee. I should know this precept. Hell shall meet thee. That's gotta be meet thee. KJV. We almost done. It's 8:30. Isaiah 14. I don't know why I thought it was 16. I'm right here. Isaiah 14. Verse 9. Yeah, there we go. Isaiah 14 and 9. It's still a glorious thing, though. This is a glorious thing that's happening right now with them trying to start this civil war, trying to start this race war. It's going to be sad. It's going to be a lot of, dark times ahead of us, but it's still glorious, and it's what has to happen. Go ahead.
It's like it, sir. But even when I was in the world,
Mm-hmm.
You would always hear about the race war and everything. In
Right.
my mind, I even remember asking this question.
Right.
Like I would say, why? Like I ain't never heard a black or Hispanic person talk about a race war.
Right.
It's always ever been white people.
Right.
So it's just like that tells you something, like where their mind is at on a whole.
Right.
Like black people don't think about that.
Right.
Black people don't think about that.
Because we've been destroyed so much. And that's an excellent point. I'm gonna give you two quick examples. We've been destroyed so much. For one, we don't see ourselves as a race. We don't see ourselves as a nation of people. So that's the first point. When you take away someone's nationality, then how could you fight for your nation? That's the key. Like having your identity, being an Israelite. When we read that, I wish we had our paper still. When we say the law, statutes, and commandments will fix every problem in the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community. Knowing who you are as an identity will save our nation of people, because we don't even see ourselves as a nation of people. How can you fight for your people if you are a no people? You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just when I go sell crack, and not literally, hopefully I don't, you know what I mean? Kassar sell crack. When I go sell crack up the street to this black man, it's a knock, how we used to say back in the day. He's a dope fiend. He's a knock. That's all it is. It's $50, $20. When I go sell crack as an Israelite, I just sold crack to an Israelite. It hit different. I sold it to my brother. I sold it to my cousin, my sister. That's a little different relationship. When I went and slid on the ops in Chicago, it's just the niggas from that side of town. But if I went and slid on an Israelite, it's a different mentality. And the sad part about it is that this class being about Civil War is about our Civil War too. So that kind of comes full circle too. Because we've been at Civil War since the days of Jerusalem. And this has been our downfall. A nation divided cannot stand. We are at war with each other. And that is where, once we can end this war with each other, then our king can return. And now, I'm not saying that that's exactly what has to happen, but I'm just saying he's coming back to see us together. And that war of us being against each other is a big problem. And it's because we have all these different beliefs. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I can't get together with my cousin because they believe in Christmas. They don't believe in Passover. They don't want to come to the Passover with me and with us. But they do want to do Christmas with them. And so how can we come together? And you go somewhere else, they believe in Kwanzaa. And them over here, they believe in this and that. Like, you talk to 100 different black people, they believe in 100 different things. So that division they had in our nation is what destroys us from uniting. But go ahead, where we at?
Isaiah 14 verse. Verse 9.
Yeah.
Kind of going. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee.
Mm-hmm.
Hell beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee.
Right. So hell, we in hell right now. And this is talking about the oppressors over us. It says that hell is going to meet thee. It's going to come to thee. Hell on earth is coming for the oppressors. They live it in their heaven, but hell is coming from beneath thee to meet thee. All the evils and things that you've done to us is coming to you. That's just like the first Civil War. They sat there and murdered people slowly, and then they just got into a line and just started killing each other for no reason because they was arguing about money. Like that's just a crazy demon got to be on you. It's like me and you, we come and start a gang, or we come and start a cartel, and we get so rich and so powerful, and you like, yeah, we should spend the money on buying some land. And I'm like, nah, we should spend the money on buying some cars. And you like, hell nah, nigga. And I'm like, nah. And then I'm like, man, I get my bodyguards, you get your bodyguards, and then we have a shootout and just kill each other. And ain't nobody got nothing, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, bro, y'all could have worked that out. Y'all was rich, you had everything in the world. Why the hell did y'all? It's like that movie. You don't know that movie. Anyway, you seen Belly? Exactly. I know y'all ain't seen Belly. They sit in a $1 million, not $1 million, but a very wealthy restaurant. And they just, high, and two of the young bodyguards start arguing over nothing, just nothing. He ended up just shooting them dead in the damn restaurant over nothing, just a simple argument. But they were just so powerful and power hungry. He just sat the gun down, sat there and waited for the police to come. He's so high, he ain't even, you know what I'm saying, run off. But that's America. They so drunk off of their power that they will kill each other for challenging that power. Like, nah, you can't tell me what to do. Nah, you can't tell me what to do. And they just go to war. So hell is coming to meet America. Everything that they've done is going to come back on them. Keep going.
Come. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
Right.
Verse 10.
Let me see. Now go. Might be this. Let's see. All right, go ahead. Let's see what we got.
Come. Verse 10. All they that shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?
That's a heavy one. That is a good one. Like, it's the other nations gonna look at as America. Like, you called us third world countries for the longest time. Now y'all a third world country too? How y'all looking and scrambling for food like we've been doing for all this time? Keep going.
Verse 11. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy boils, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
Right. Verse 12.
Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nation?
Oh, yeah, so this is all hand in hand. So where Lucifer is basically just a king that was over Babylon, and they prophesying how Babylon's going to fall. But this is modern day. This is talking about in today's is the oppressor, the Edomite, and it's just they're asking like, how is it that you the ones that was ruling the world? How have you weakened the nations? How are you now falling down? Right? And you can go further into that. It just talks about how they exalted themselves, and it is a man. It's not some spiritual demon being. It's just talking about a literal man that's gonna fall. Let's go to Job 19:4. Run through. I think I'm finally gonna do it. We're at 8:30. I'm not gonna hold y'all too long, but I think I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna make it through all my precepts I got. I only got a few more. Job 19:4. Go ahead when you got it.
This is the book of Job, chapter 19, verse 4.
Right.
And be it indeed that I have erred, mine error remaineth with myself. Verse 5.
Mhm.
If indeed ye will magnify yourselves against me and plead against me my reproach. Verse
Right.
6.
So Job, he's crying out. Job was going through all these things in his life, and he's saying, and be it indeed that I have erred, my error remaineth with myself. Like he is blaming himself. He's understanding, like, maybe I'm the reason why I'm going through all this. And we never want to take that accountability as a nation. The reason why we in the things that we're in is because we hate God. Is pretty much that simple. Like he only gave us 2 commandments. Everybody's saying, well, I can't get with all the commandments. Is 600 and something. Christ boiled it down. He said it's 2 commandments. Love God with all your heart, with all your soul, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor? If you hate being black, if you want to run away from being that, then you cannot love your people. You want to move out of the hood. You want to go away from your people. You want to be separate from them. How can you love yourself? The first step is we're going to have to realize we got to end our civil war. We got to love each other. We have to unite or die. That's what they are trying to maintain. America is so famous because they are united. The United States of America made it powerful. Like every great gang, like the Crips, this happens all over. The GDs too, but I'll do the Crips one quick example. What made the Crips powerful is because there used to be one side of LA called the East Side, and there used to be another side of LA called the West Side. Well, Tookie Williams and Raymond Washington was from the East Side, and Tookie was from the West Side. They used to fight each other all the time. They had a meeting and said, how about we come together and we'll take over the whole goddamn city? And that's what happened. They became the Crips, and they united, and their power was way bigger. So now they could go to both sides of the city, and anybody that challenged them, they just doubled their gang. And then people want to join it because it's bigger, and it doubled their power. The GDs in Chicago was originally something like, I think, the Gangster Disciples and then the Black Disciples. They were 2 different gangs, but Larry Hoover and King David came together and formed Gangster Disciple Nation, and they put these 2 enemy sides together, and it made them more powerful, and then they started taking over. So you'll see that a lot in a lot of different movies, drug movies, a lot of it. It'll be 2 warring people, and somebody come with a meeting like, hey, we're going to have a meeting. We need to come together. And when they come together, they take over. That's what America is it united all these different states from sea to signing sea. That's why in that Civil War little play that they were talking about, sea to signing sea, like being from one coast to this coast, all of that is powerful. And they can make bigger moves because they got everything they need in this country, and they got the numbers. That's us. We being not together is weakening us. You see what I'm saying? And once we take that accountability and love the Lord, then we will follow our culture. If you love God and if you believe in the God of the Bible, you will see that you appreciate this. You see what I mean? Like this is a blessing to have this book. Like when we go to the Passover, y'all gonna be at the Passover? Oh yeah, it's gonna be a glorious event, man. Lord allow we all be able to be in the building together, seeing your nation of people being positive, being on one accord, not worrying about shooting and guns and all this type of things. It's like a taste of the kingdom of heaven. That's how it's supposed to be. Like even me, one thing that I saw, I used to live in Louisiana. I went to school at a black college. And my whole experience growing up around black people in California was if you go to a party, it's gonna be a shooting, or if you go over here, it's gonna be a fight, or if you are in the hood, something bad is gonna happen. When I went to college, I seen black families having what we call a homecoming. Everybody got their trailers out. You walking through, they're like, hey, you want to get a plate? You want some food? You want this or that? Like, you get a taste. It was like the kingdom of heaven too, in a way. You know, it's worldly in a way, but like it made me look at black people differently. Like I've never seen thousands of black people come together and it be positive. And so I started to realize, like, it's not us. You really become racist against yourself. Like living out here, it made me just be like, damn, I don't want to be around niggas. You see what I'm saying? Like, you want to get away. And then I had to learn, like, it's not black. We wasn't born just criminals and violent. And this is the culture we live in. This is the environment we grow up in. And then this is why we act this way. But if you grow up somewhere else, if you're taught something different, this is not the way it has to be. We can get along. We can be in the area and none of these things happen. So that made me love my people even more. Like, all you have to do is change the culture and you will see a different world. And that's what the Passover is. It's saying before you didn't have a culture. You did what? You did what? You. Everybody said, I'm going to do me. So my cousin can say she can follow Erykah Badu. My other cousin can follow Jay-Z. And my other cousin can be a 5%er, and my other cousin can be a Buddhist. Everybody doing them. You do whatever the hell you want to do. But when you say, nah, this is what we do. We all do this. This is our culture. Now there's no more fighting. We're together because we believe and we do the same things. What is there to fight about? You know what I mean? So that's the key. But Job, he was taking that accountability. And once we do that, we have to stop hating God. We have to love the Lord, man. It's very important. Keep going to the next verse. So like it.
Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
Know now that God hath overthrown me,
right,
and hath compassed me with his net.
Right, we in a net. In the same way, you working your 9 to 5, you might get a raise or something like that, and then they're gonna raise the bills on this over there. They're gonna take more money out over here. You're in a net underneath this oppressor, and that's the Lord doing that. He's using these oppressors as a whipping stick, and it should not be. There's nothing he should be able to do to make us hate God. There's nothing he should be able to do to make us hate our brothers like this. And so that's what we just got to get back online. Psalm 17 and 13. Two more after this. We done. We out the door. I got to get home too. Psalm 17 and 3. How Jim Miles said, I got to go. I got to get out of here. Boom, 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 boom. You got to go ahead when you. Yep. I think 17 and what? 13.
13.
Yep.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. Mm-hmm. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
Good night. Like the wicked is the Lord's sword. The Lord is using these devils just to destroy us, to make us come back to what's right. And so it's the same way. On one side, they doing all this evil stuff. They want to wake you up to fight back. But the Lord is saying they're doing all this evil stuff to you to wake us up to come back to him. Everybody's talking about stay woke. You can't stay woke if you asleep. First, we got to wake our people up. Then you need to stay woke. Like, wake up to the fact that this is your book. Wake up to the fact that these just ain't words. Like, everyone just wants to boil the Bible down to just a random book that somebody wrote. And I always say this from classes when I first started teaching. It was a song about Jay-Z, and Jay-Z was leaving Dame Dash, who was record label buddies, and he was saying everybody said they made Hove, they made Jay-Z. Like, I wouldn't be anything without them. He was like, if you made me, then go make another one. If it was you that made me popping, then go make another one. Because if it's that easy, then you should be able to go find some other nigga on the street and make him just as big as me. He's like, nah, you can't do it. Because I really was the star of the show the whole time. Well, guess what? If the Bible was just a made-up book, then someone else should be able to go make another one.
Right.
It should be that simple. You go write this down then. Go to the house and write, like, y'all don't really realize, not saying y'all, but like when it's really different levels to this, because I read the same stuff over and over again. I'm like, damn, I read this book all the time for years, and it ceases to amaze me. Every day I could read the same scripture again tomorrow, and I'll be like, damn, I learned something new today. I never, you understand what I'm saying? Like, and this book has been around for 1,000 years, and there's so much knowledge and wisdom in this book that you think somebody just walked in there and just wrote this. I was trying to think, what's a heavy precept real quick. I just want to show, like, who could? It's random. I'm gonna find one for y'all, but go ahead. You had a question or you said something?
You covered it.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Read that one more time then. Mm-hmm.
So like it.
He's saying, okay, we can skip that one. Basically, long story short, he's saying the Lord to deliver us from the wicked one, which is thy sword. These people have been put on top of us to punish us. And the way out of it is us coming together and uniting. Go to the next precept will be, I think it's Jeremiah 49 and 14. It'll just end after that in Obadiah. That's the last one. But like, what type of crazy person? I couldn't even imagine just certain things. I was trying to think of something that's just like, who thinks of something like this? I couldn't do it. Like, if somebody told me to sit down and write a book like this, it's not gonna be like the Bible. And nobody else has done it either. And don't let them try to trick you and think that it hurts my nerves when people try to say that. It's just a book. It's just. Go ahead.
I would say it's similar to, it's like all wisdom that's recognized by all nations.
Mm-hmm.
You can find in Proverbs.
Right.
It's just like it's what it is. That's what it is. It's like they got it from the Bible, wisdom.
Right. You ain't lying. And certain things is somebody just woke up one morning and just like, it's gonna be wars and rumors of wars, and nation shall rise against nation, and father against mother, just like anything in the Bible. You just really think somebody was just sitting at the house just writing this stuff out. Just yeah, nation shall rise against nation, wars and rumors of war. Like, who thinks of something like this? It's not even normal. You know what I'm saying? You know how normal is not? Because no one else has done it. No book has sold more than the Bible. No Shakespeare, nothing. And it's different writers. And it all goes together. They saying the same thing. That's what we're going to show you right now. You have something? Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I was thinking, when you say write a book like the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say the only other book I can think of that would be regarded as something, as a guidance, would be Machiavelli's Rules of Power or whatever. And I was thinking, it is pretty much saying, pretend that you're someone that follows the Bible, while actually just doing the opposite.
Oh, right.
Just reverse.
And that's deep too. That's a whole nother story. That's basically Satanism. That's how they built the whole Church of Satan, just countering the Bible. That's how powerful the Bible is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just do opposite of this, you get some power too. That's deep in itself. But yeah, I was gonna think of the Quran. The Quran is up there too. They went far off a book that's really saying nothing. You read it, the book is really doesn't say anything at all. But just the fact that they use some elements of what we say and tried to make a holy book, they didn't build up 1 billion people are in Islam. So that shows you even more how powerful this book. Like they at least had the cojones to try to plagiarize a new book similar.
Sir, this might be a question for a completely different class. How is it that Islam grew to how large it became? The credence that it literally takes its credibility from the Bible. As in, like when it refers to everything in the Bible.
Right.
That's my question. Like, this is something I need to look up on my own.
No. This is scripture breakdown.
How is it that you can, like, I've never read the Quran or anything.
Right.
It's like it says to look to the good book, and it's just like, how are you going to have a book telling you to look at another religion and not see that it's less than?
So. Two things. It's very simple with them. For one, Islam is musty Christianity. That's the first step. Islam is just Arabs that are Christians in their own way. It's musty Christianity. And the two thing, I think we said this before, they don't believe that shit. They don't believe in the Quran. They act like they believe in the Quran, but they really don't believe in the Quran. Go to Saudi Arabia. It's a movie about Saddam Hussein's son. He was over there dealing with prostitutes, getting high, just killing people. What you say?
I saw a documentary on it. It was like the most evil or something.
Right.
He was actually a part of it.
Yeah, his name was Uday Hussein, and he was just living like an animal. But he was a Muslim. You know what I mean? Like, the people that run Islam, they don't really follow that. This is just the way. And the other reason, so you got one, they don't really believe in this book, right? So it doesn't matter what the book says, they're just using it to control people, right? And then the other part is they force people to follow in Islam. So they went on a mission by the sword and basically saying, you're either going to become a Muslim or I'm going to kill you. And then after your kid grows up, you didn't know your grandfather was forced into this. You just think that, oh, I'm a Muslim. Nah, your grandpa actually just was a sucker. He didn't want to die, so he just converted to a religion he didn't believe in. And now he raised you up, but he's like still scared that somebody might kill him if he just say something. So he just tell you, oh yeah, we believe in the Quran. And they just grew up believing in that. So it doesn't matter what it says pertaining to the Bible. They just do what they're told to do. Go ahead.
They're liars.
Yeah, exactly. It's Christians. It's the same thing with Christianity. Christianity, the Bible tells you that it's one chosen people, but they don't believe in that. You would think they would try to figure this out, but what do Christians do? Do they really read the Bible? Do they really care what it says? Do they do what it says? That's Islam. None of them read the Quran. None of them, they do it they cover it up better. I'll say that. It's kind of like Jehovah's Witness. Are you familiar with Jehovah's Witness? They're Christians too. They really go out and stand on the streets or knock on your door. Like they're dedicated at the lie more than the average Christian. So that's like Islam. They're dedicated at praying 5 times a day. They're dedicated at not eating pork. They're dedicated at the show a lot more than your average Christian. But at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. It's just them acting like they really care about this, but they really don't. Go ahead.
I was going to ask, so they're just like the Pharisees and Sadducees.
Right. Exactly. They put on such a good show on face value, but behind closed doors, they're doing everything that they say they shouldn't do. They don't really care about Allah. It's just in a show. And the show is really because they force people by the sword. They basically killed enough people that they got stuck in this traditions. You know what I mean? Like basically, like I'm saying, like if I came in here and I told you, hey, you need to wear an all black or I'm gonna kill you. And then you start wearing all black every day, eventually you wouldn't think twice about wearing something else. You would just think it's just what you like now. You know what I'm saying? And then if you wanted to wear something else, you're like, man, Kasar might kill me, so I'm not gonna do it. And then you start convincing yourself, I actually like black. You know what I'm saying? Why would I ever want to wear? People that wear red, I hate them. You know what I'm saying? Like you would take out your anger because you can't do it on other people, and you would convince yourself this is what we do. And you're like, actually, it's called Stockholm Syndrome. They got Stockholm Syndrome. Like, yeah, I love Kasar. But really, I've got you kidnapped. You know what I mean? And then you just, after 200 years of doing that, then you just be like, yeah, this is what we do. It's our family. We Islam. We're Muslims. You know what I mean? We love this. But really, when you go home, you wearing red and shit like you like, I do love red. As a matter of fact, I hate myself because I love red. Like, it's weird. I don't know what the hell. They're weird people. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, it's like an example of Noah, where in that world, it's like everyone would do as the world would want them to do. But there's only one man among all of them who didn't
go with it, conform.
Who didn't conform.
Right.
So it's just like it's just humans naturally conform.
True. Who naturally followers. But yeah, even still, but like that was still, like I said, it's a violent element to it though. It's a get down or lay down element too. It's not just like, oh, we all like Jordans, let's wear Jordans. It's like wear Jordans or die. And then eventually you're gonna like love Jordans for some reason. Because you forgot that he threatened you to do it. That's long story. Yeah, we can go further into that. But let's go to this last one. I know we said Jeremiah
41:14.
I think 49 and 14.
49:14.
Yeah.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49.
That's right.
Chapter 49, verse 14. Put yourselves in array against Babylon.
Jeremiah 49 and 14. I have heard a rumor.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 49, verse 14. I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together, and come against her, and rise up to the battle.
Right, this is so eloquent right here. It's like Jeremiah going into a courtroom and talking to the heathens, and he's being, respectful. He said, I've heard a rumor from the Lord. Allegedly, the Lord told me something, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen. Now I'm coming and telling y'all this is what's about to happen. And he's saying, gather you together and come against her and rise up to the battle. Like all these nations are going to come and go to war with America. They're going to go to war with the oppressor. He's giving him the notice that this is about to happen to him. Verse 15.
Verse 15. For lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men.
Right. That's what's going to happen. We're going to go fall, become at the bottom, and despised amongst men. Keep going.
Verse 16. Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle.
As high as the what?
As high as the eagle.
Keep going.
I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord.
Most High in Christ, like their pride in their heart, the ones that dwell in the clefts of the rock. We've always called them cave dwellers. They live inside the caves. They live up and high in the mountains. Where did everybody live? In the hills in California. That's where they always move, to the hills or live in skyscrapers. This is the Edomite culture, to live like this. Go ahead up.
This is another perfect description of who the devil is. Like it truly is, like the Caucasian from the Caucasus Mountains in the clefts of the rock.
Right.
And I had to try to be as high as the eagle.
Right.
And even the Romans who were Edomites, they
Mm-hmm.
had the eagle. They had
Right.
their brown-headed eagle.
Right.
America as well has their bald-headed eagle.
Exactly. Yep. The Spain, a lot of Germans, with Hitler, it was always the eagle. They loved that eagle. And that's how you know this by like, how does, you see what I'm saying? Like, make that up. You see, what are the odds of that? Like, you go back 2,000 years ago, there's some nigga in the room just writing it. As the cliffs of the rock is an eagle. And then you get to 2,000 years later and America got the bald eagle. Like, what are the odds of this? You know what I'm saying? Why it ain't a panther? Why he ain't talking about a cat? It all lines up. You know what I mean? And it's spiritual. Like, you just can't make this stuff up. Read verse 17. Like,
Verse 17. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof.
So what does that tell you? We talking about the future, Rock. And let me see if you can see this prophecy. What is it saying? With the plagues, just zeroing on that one. We're gonna hold it too long. I'll give you one shot.
When I say the plagues being the ideology that we hold, like LGBT, all those.
La. So it said also Edom shall be desolation. Like Edom is who?
America.
All right. And it's gonna be desolate. Desolate means empty. It's gonna be destroyed. Everyone that goes by it shall be astonished. Like, man, this was just where the Super Bowl was at. This is where New York and all the skyscrapers. It's gonna be astonished. Damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how 9/11 was. When the towers, like, everybody was just like, couldn't believe it. Like, this is on purpose. Somebody just destroyed the Twin Towers. That's how it's gonna feel, right? And then it's saying, and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Like, ugh. Plagues. What are plagues?
So it's like plagues are destruction.
Think about a plague. I'm thinking like the pandemic.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Or diseases, and you know what I mean? So what is that saying about the future? And one more time, give you a shot. What is that saying about the future for you? Let's see if we get ready to make you to a prophet. All right, time. All right, no sweat. It's gonna be another pandemic. It's gonna be another COVID. It's gonna be way worse. If y'all thought 2020 was something, this Bible is telling you right here that I'm not the wisest man. I just read the book. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm telling you what's about to happen. This is what's gonna happen. It's no big deal. We went on the streets. We told them before COVID happened it was gonna happen, and then it happened. And we're telling people now this place is gonna be destroyed, and there's gonna be diseases running through here like nothing like you've never seen before. And it's gonna be disgusting. Like, it ain't this time. They had that monkeypox almost. I don't know. They was like, this is too much. They tried to stop that or something. But it's gonna be just like, oh my God, I was on the bus and the nigga nose fell off. Like, what the fuck? Nigga nose just dropped on the ground. Like, what the hell is going on? You don't want no parts of this. Niggas pinky fingers just grab this and just leave. What the hell? This I got to go. You don't know what to do. You know, get back. Like, everybody's just gonna be ridiculous. This is gonna be something that I don't even, you know what I mean? But it's just gonna be something that's disgusting, man. And it's gonna be.
Is it also just gonna continue to keep happening too?
No, it's gonna be a maximum. It's gonna peak out. And the Lord said, if the Bible says if He didn't stop or shorten the time, then no one would survive what's going to happen. It's going to get so bad that Christ returning is what's going to stop it. Like, if it just keeps going this way, it'll just be nobody here. Matter of fact, find that precept, shortening the time. I know we get inside that, but that's done on that one. I'm going to pull this other one while he gets that one. So that's as to why for that one. I'm going to go to Obadiah if you can find that one for me. Say, if he not shorten the time should be enough for you. Shorten the time, KJV. And then, if it's 9:05, we got to get this out of here.
So Matthew 24, verse 22.
Let me see what you got. Sounds about right. Yep, it's got to be in there. Mm-hmm.
Matthew 24. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right. Hold on. Let me get there with you real quick. And we're going to end on this note. But if you go to Obadiah, the first chapter, Obadiah quotes or says the same things that what we just read in Jeremiah. I'm going to read this a little bit. We're going to go in on that one that you got. This is Obadiah 1:1, the vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord God concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, that thou dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. Like the same thing that Jeremiah was saying, the same thing that Obadiah was saying, and all these prophecies go hand in hand. But that's an important thing. But Matthew 24, and where we at? 24 and what?
It's like at 24 and 22.
Okay, we're gonna go up a couple verses real quick and just close out. Boom, 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 boom. Except in those days. Damn, this stuff right here. Shouldn't do it. Should I say? So you go all the way up to verse 6. We're not gonna read all this, but because they asked Christ, they said, when will they know when the days of the end of the world will be coming, right?
This is the book of Matthew,
mm-hmm.
chapter 24, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Then let them which be
verse 6.
Oh, so like in verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars.
Right.
See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So it's going to be bad things. It's going to be wars. It's going to be Russia versus Ukraine. It's going to be Israel versus Palestine. It's all these wars that we're hearing about and rumors of wars. We're hearing about China versus Taiwan. You're hearing about this over here and this over there. All these rumors and stuff. But he said, don't be troubled. Don't worry about that. It's just not the end yet. Verse 7.
Verse 7. For the nation shall
mm-hmm.
For nation shall rise against nation.
That's race wars. That's what's going to happen. Your nation, your people, right?
And kingdom against kingdom.
So these governments and kingdoms and countries are going to go to war. That's World War III, right?
And there shall be famine.
And there shall be what?
Famine.
So there's going to be hunger. People ain't going to be able to eat.
And pestilences.
Man, that's diseases. Keep going.
And earthquakes in diverse places.
Right, in diverse places, all over different places. And it goes on to explain a little bit more. Blah, blah, blah. False prophets, iniquity. The love. Go to verse 12.
Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
Right, people are going to be heartless. They're not going to care about each other. They had it in one of this movie. I forgot what it was. It was just recently. They was starting a war. It was Julia Roberts. It was on Netflix. I don't know if y'all saw that one. And like the war was happening in New York, but they was living in. They went to a vacation house, and the black dude came home. Okay, it was a big movie. It just came out a couple months ago. But anyway, it was like a big war popping off. And they went to go get some supplies from this dude. They know he was a prepper, and he had a lot of supplies. But he came out with the gun like, man, y'all can't get none of this. I've been preparing for this for years to protect myself. I ain't preparing to give y'all none of this. Like, people gonna be heartless towards each other. Somebody knock on somebody's door. Y'all got some food in there? Y'all some water? I got a crying baby. They gonna be like, I'm gonna get off my doorstep. I'm gonna shoot you. Like, it's gonna be no love for anyone.
The UPK.
Right, exactly. And that's what we trying to say. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to come together because we're going to be all we have. You're going to want to be a part of a network of people in these days that are going to help, because you can be by yourself. That's what they say. A lot of these sisters and women and stuff, you can go to the gas station, buy some gas, you come back home, some Edomite gonna come and siphon the gas out your car. Come take this from you, take that from you. Like it's men is gonna be very important in these days. That's why it also says in Isaiah that 7 women shall cling to one man, saying, only if I can be carried by your name. I'm paraphrasing it all bad, but to take away from my reproach. Like having a man is going to be so valuable. The Bible says the Lord is going to make a man more precious than the gold of Ophir. Like that's going to be valuable. And that's the same thing I was telling my cousin. I'm like, man, these last days, you're going to want to have a man that's solid with you. You're not going to want to be always like in the world to, I'm going to keep going forever. Okay. The world without rules is the penitentiary with women in it. That like if there's no police officers to somebody come knocking on your door and wants to take something from you, you can't call 911, you're living in jail. Because in jail, you can't call the police. Nigga come and say, nigga, I want your cookies. I want your ramen noodles. I want them shoes. And you can't call the guard. He's nigga, they're gonna stab you and kill you. And you know, grown men get abused in jail all the time. So now imagine going outside in the whole world and there's no police. And now we have women in jail. Ooh-wee. It's not no women's jail. Women, y'all in our jail. Oh, why am I gonna go abuse Tommy when it's Sarah? You see what I'm saying? Like these men that do that in jail, imagine how they gonna act when women are in the jail. Exactly. That's what the Bible days were. It was jail with women in it. There was Philistinians coming over here. That's my woman. You like, no, it's not. He like, yeah, it is. Do something about it. Exactly. I'm gonna kill you. And some people was like, take her. Because that was the same nigga in jail that didn't fight for his own. So he's definitely not fighting for yours. Because he's a bitch ass nigga. And so when Philistines, what's some other Ishmaelites? Who's some other nations in the Bible? Hittites. The Hittites hated the Israelites. They went to war with us. They came over. They was like, yeah, I want you and I need you. We can do this the easy way. We can do this the hard way. They was raping. That's what Sodom and Gomorrah was about. They tried to rape the angels. It was he offered his daughter up. And he said, no, I want the man. Like, it was the penitentiary. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, whatever you had, if somebody wanted it, they could come and take it. There's no police. So all you had was your family and your soldiers and your men to protect whatever you had. You got some goats? Well, guess what? There's Goliath. He's 7'8". He's 350 pounds. And he didn't kill everybody that tried to challenge him. And I want your goats. It's like Debo. But now imagine an army of them. That's what the Persians were. That's when you hear about the Persian army, and I got 50,000 people with me. And they all killers. Now, what do you want to do about it? You gonna give me them goats, or you gonna make us take the goats? That's it. It was just an organized jail. And people that was just running this shit. And they like, hey, nigga, what we gonna do? We gonna do this easy way. You get out, you gonna lay down. And anything over here is mine. Is your daughter today, your son tomorrow. Grandma. And it was either some people that was just like, nigga, I ain't having it. Either you gonna kill me or we're gonna fight for this. And it was other people that just gave up and just went and did whatever they told them to do. And so, long story short, we're going back to that. It's like, and that's, I mean, we have to pull the verse. I keep saying we get a little bit on, but man, y'all, we're gonna have class next week. We could always come back, but we're going back to that. It's gonna be like there's no 911, and you're gonna find out that that neighbor is really a rapist. The whole time you've been living, hey, Mr. So-and-so, yeah, he rapes people. He will rape a woman, a child, or an animal. And he does that. And now, who's going to stop him? Is either going to be some strong men that's going to fucking fight for this, or it's whatever happens. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's what I'm trying to tell. I'm trying to tell my cousin, I'm like, man, you think this is a game. You really believe in America. You believe in the police system, that if you don't even know the real world, General Commander Giuliani always talks about that, like, you will find out what the real world is when the laws are over. When the police is like, fuck it, I'm not coming over there. Then you realize how much people will kill for nothing, how much people will rape, how much people will steal, how much people they fighting. Perfect example is Black Friday. They selling Tickle Me Elmo, and people is pushing. I can pull up right now some white woman snatching a doll out of a little kid's hands. Am I making this up? For General Hyman, you think I'm making this up? There, you can look it on YouTube right now. People pushing people out of the way over a toy or a TV. Now imagine what they'll do if there's no water left and you got water. They will blow your effing brains out. If you have rice and no one else has rice or tissue, they will kill you over tissue. And where do they do that at? Blow my mind. Somebody, we're going to close the class on that. Where do people die over tissue and rice? No, wrong. Stay on point with class. Pay attention. No, right now. Go ahead. No. Where will a nigga die over noodles? Exactly. It's like Jeopardy. We're going to close it on that note. Niggas die over nothing in jail all the time because there's no rules in there. And if they don't have it and you got it, I will take it. If you don't give it to me, I will kill you for it. And people are going to resort to that same type of animalistic behavior. As soon as the laws go away, you will see how many people are willing to kill over tissue, toilet paper, noodles, looking at me wrong, nigga, because you won't let me sleep with your woman. I'm going to kill you over it. And that's the world we live in. And it just happens in a small room right now called jail. And we think it's just those people. But a lot of people don't do those crimes because they're scared to go to jail. But if there's no jail for them to go to and no one's going to arrest them, they'll start doing that shit too. That's exactly what they're going to start doing. They're like, oh, I can do whatever I want. It's Grand Theft Auto. And you know what movie that is? The Purge. That's what's coming. And so it's like, this is my brother. This is all we got. Like, this is what we getting ready for. We building soldiers, man. And that's just like, man, I'm really talking to myself right now. Like, man, we got to do this work. We got to get people in the truth. This is not a game. This is not time to be playing around. We need to do everything we can to get as many soldiers up in here because we are getting ready for a war that's about to hit, and it's not going to be pretty. But Salaki, I digress. With that, I'm just going to salute everybody. We didn't even go through everything. Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yashai, Roka Thumb to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema, Yahweh Shem Yashai to all the sisters. Salaki.